What's up, everyone? Netherwood back with more Ixion for you. Episode 2 here. I'm just getting back into my save real quick. Again, like I said, I played all day yesterday, and now I haven't played in just a little while, and I'm like trying to get my bearings again, which is really strange. Probably because I have like a huge test game that I already played, and I'm like, hey, this isn't where I left off. That's because this is a new game. So last episode, we got started off. We landed here at the Ixion. And we started setting up a lot of stuff here. We got our buildings set up for our pop, right? Our workers and everything. We got some food, a mess hall set up for, and some warehouses set up for food and alloys and what's that called again? Polymers. And we started clearing out the supplies that were already here for us. We created 2 ships, a cargo ship and a science ship, and we started doing some missions to kind of figure out what's going on right now and getting ready to basically take off and use the engine and all that kind of stuff. So let's get into it. Again, our 2 things we're working on are feed the crew and resolve the moon event on the planetary system map. Now, sorry, again, I am getting over a cold, so there's going to be a little bit of sniffling here and there. Sorry about that. Let's start making sure that we're going to keep taking out alloys here and clearing this out. Now, if the game sound is too loud, which it sounds like it's pretty loud, let me know in the comments section. I'm going to turn it down a little bit right now. So I'm going to build some road over to here so we can get access to these other buildings, these supply areas, because these are pretty easy to take out compared to like 80 and 90. I really want to clear this area right here because I want to start putting in probably some space modules and stuff. They might end up over on this side, at least one of them will, because it's already cleared away. But we want to start getting that ready. Again, we started working on getting our construction area ready. This is really our construction area slash worker area that I'm gonna see in every sector pretty much. I've found out that that's kind of the best way to do it. Now, a couple of the things we need to do here is the science ship Stanford has arrived at the moon, so why don't we go take a peek at that, right? Summary of the intelligence on the abandoned base, The base is out of commission. Auxiliary systems are operational and can be used to restore power. Transmission from the Stanford team. This is what we did not have before. We have reached the UN base. It is abandoned and depressurized. The surveillance system is still operational, awaiting orders. So now you're going to pick what you want to do. And you don't necessarily know right off the bat what's going to happen, which I think is really cool. It also tells you how many cycles it will take to do it. Sometimes you can do all of them if you choose your cards correctly. So, well, obviously, if we dismantle the base, we can't exploit the security vulnerability. So we're going to do that first and see if we can maybe get 2 sets of resources out of this or something. Okay, so that's done, and that's going to have to wait 1 cycle to complete. What will we do here? Let's start clearing out some more of these stockpiles. Probably these 2 right here. Oh, I thought it was paused already. Probably should have just cleared that one out and then done that one. It's weird that this one's more, but it's a smaller pile. That's interesting. Alright, so we've got pretty much what we need to set up. I was going to move the construction facility over. We could probably work on that. So let's get that guy in. But I really probably want him... Yeah, that'd be... Well, we're going to want a road in here eventually, I think. Right? Because that's not going to really work. Oh, no, we're just going to put another one right there. So let's put this guy right there. And once he's built, we're going to take this guy down, basically. We'll get all our resources back. Really, it's just moving buildings around. You're going to end up doing this a lot. It's very common in this game to move buildings around as each sector kind of develops. All right, they're done. Let's go check out what they found. All right, we got 10 science ready for extraction. Transmission from the Stanford team. We hacked into the main computer systems as you ordered and retrieved several relevant research papers and data sets. Nice. Okay, so they got that. Hacking in progress. Transmission from the Stanford team. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, now let's dismantle the base for extra resources. That's going to take 2 more cycles. Now we've got 10 science sitting here, and we don't collect this like a normal resource. What's going to happen is once our science ship is done here, or if we tell it to leave, because if you might halfway through the dialogue think, you know, I don't want to go any further. Maybe there's a choice that I don't want to do, or I think might result in the science ship exploding or whatever. If you stop, you leave the base or whatever reason you're there, then you'll start collecting the science, and it immediately transfers back to the Ixion. Then after that, you can bring the science ship back. I kind of thought they would collect it on the science ship and bring it back. They just immediately transfers or something like that. So let's keep going there. we don't have any science yet because we don't have a science facility. Getting one sooner rather than later is better. While it doesn't generate a lot of science because most of your science comes from the environment, it does get you 1 science per cycle, and it can add up. So why don't we look at building that? People are still working. That's good while I was talking. Can we build that? So I think it's a factory. Yeah, you can have 1 tech lab. I don't know if it's per sector or if it's for the whole thing, but we will see. Probably so you do have to do events to advance. I'm going to put it like right here. It's pretty large, but I'm going to put it out of the way of what I think will be space for science, or I mean space buildings, which are really large. Let's get that set up there. It's going to cost a lot of alloy, which is totally fine. Again, don't worry about that. You have tons of resources given to you in the beginning. It's not a big problem. It's not a problem. Infirmary, we'll talk about that when it's necessary. We don't need it right now. One thing I would say is I'm getting a message saying I need an infirmary. I don't have an infirmary, basically, because I have no crew members injured, but I don't have an infirmary in case they do become injured, anywhere for them to go. And that's giving me this ability to click on Sector 1 and rotate directly to it, no matter what sector I'm in. I would really love to have this all the time, because if I solve this issue, this button goes away. Dev team, if you're watching, I know there's a lot of videos out there. You might not be. But it would be nice to have those sector buttons all the way across here, even if there's nothing going on. Still have the notification, the icon, to let me know, hey, immediately you need to handle this. But I would love to be able to just click back and forth between sectors to just really easily do it. I'm sure there are hotkeys, but the buttons just make it nice too. So they're done. Let's go see what they found. Great, some alloy and some definitely a lot more science here. The base has been dismantled, although most equipment was damaged. We were able to prepare some usable resources for extraction. Great. Now they're going to sit there and collect that science. We're on pause right now. If you unpause, you can see them. They're starting to collect. It immediately goes into our science pool up here, and so we can use it right away. Now, we don't have a science lab, so we can't do any research. That's another reason why we need to get that moving now, because we have science available, and research happens over time, no matter how much science you have laying around, right? So that's a big deal. Now we can also tell our dude, well, I don't know if I want to tell him right now to go gather this alloy, because I'd rather clear out our alloy dumps, and this thing can only hold 100, and so once it fills up, they will stop clearing these out. So I'm not going to collect that yet because I don't need it yet. I'm just going to let it sit out there. Now, that works until you might move systems. As far as I know, there's no way to collect it, a resource from a different system if you move the Ixion, right? So we will wait to do that. Now, it's not called the Ixion, it's called the Tiqqun is your ship. I'm just calling it Ixion because that's the name of the game, I guess. So we're clearing those out. Looks like we're almost done with this. That's awesome. The science lab is coming up to speed here. Once all the resources get deposited, the constructor will come over and construct it. This guy is good to go. So let's actually take this down now. That'll save us some power and also get back the person power and also the space. I think we're ready to move this warehouse as well, so let's do that. Let's move it over to here. Cannot build, all entry points are obstructed? Oh, we got to clear that out first. I didn't know that box was sitting over in that area. Well, I mean, we could build it right here. We're probably going to need more warehouses. It's not like those are the only ones we're going to need. Let's build it just so we can move stuff and give us space to build other things. Let's also deconstruct this. It's no longer necessary. In fact, none of this is necessary. After the 3 here, we're going to pick up this 80 next. We have the space. Okay, it's cleared out. It just takes a sec for the building to depopulate. We're not going to need this anymore. I think it's depopulates, doesn't need a road. Let's take out that road. Oh, we should have kept that road. That's a road we might need actually for science buildings, but it's fine. It is what it is. We're going to get this cleared out. That way we can have more construction area. A couple more warehouses are going to go in here. There is a way to use a warehouse for more than one item. Again, I'm going to tell you how to do that when we get them. Pretty much when we get electronics, you don't use that many of them in the beginning. And so I'm going to put them in a warehouse that's not used that much. And they can still pull out of it. They just won't put more in. If something shows up in the docking bay and the ship drops off electronics, they'll just sit there. Because there's no warehouse assigned to electronics, right? But it doesn't mean you can't pull from them. So it's kind of a cool way if you don't have that many warehouses or can't spare like the person power or the power or something like that, you can just store them in a random one. Like this is 5 polymers. I'm using these. I'm going to be using these a little bit in a sec, but if it was electronics, I would probably just put alloy in there. Oh, the constructor is constructing the science lab, so until that's done, I can't construct anything else. All right, the science ship is done, and she's literally going to sit there until we tell it to come back home. There's a nice, very convenient button to say back to Tiqqun. No, I could. Oh, I can't. I can't target the Tiqqun, so this is actually extremely necessary. All right, so that guy's going to come back. He's got. Oh, we can go out to Mars now too, but I'll have him come back. I'm going to pause for a sec. I have heard it said that ships can only be out away from the Tiqqun for 10 cycles. I don't know if that's the case because I think I've seen it actually more than 10 cycles, the science vessel be out there. But just in case, I'm going to bring it back to the Tiqqun. It's really close anyway. Then send it back out. So hopefully it's going to get resupplied, stuff like that. So let's see what Eden has to say.
I have an incoming transmission from Dolus's head of medicine, Dr. Abhinav Munshi.
Sounds legit. Let's do it.
Greetings, Administrator. I'm Dr. Abhinav Munshi, Dolo's expert in compartmentalism and medicine, and a member of the Marduk Council. I'm glad to finally meet you, even in this digital manner. Your psychological test results were quite impressive. My friend and colleague, Philip Stanford, couldn't be here today, so I will take the role of introducing you to the final stages of the Vol engine integration. Before we get into that, however, we would like you to complete the testing station's exploration and enhancement capabilities. You'll then be able to begin researching the EVA airlock and assess its compatibility with the Tiqqun's core systems. I hope that the work of our team will ensure that you're equipped to deal with most situations you encounter up there. Before I leave you, Stanford would like me to remind you that space is a far less fanciful and forgiving environment than science fiction would have us believe. It would be wise to remember that.
All right, very cool. Now we're going to have to construct the Volt engine. This is the last thing we need to leave the system and basically get out of what was the demo. After that is all new gameplay territory. And man, it is a great set of twists and turns. It's going to be awesome, as we will see in a minute here. So I've deconstructed this old warehouse. I'm moving it over to this new space. And now I need to tell it, well, I don't really need resources right now, so I probably should just wait. But really, I'd like to get rid of this. So let's just tell it to get rid of that now. We have science now. I'm going to go in the tech lab now and start picking something. A lot of science is unlocked already. Science ship, mining ship, stuff like that. What we're going to do is probably... Actually, I think we just got a directive to do something. This tutorial, I'm just going to get out of that real quick. Oh, that's all Stanford. Okay, we already got those notifications. Research the EVA airlock via the technology tree. Okay, great. So we probably should do that first. The thing is, the EVA airlock helps you with hull integrity. Now, right now, we're not getting any damage to the hull, but we will over time once we leave the initial system, right? And it's a big problem. It's a maintenance thing, right? But I think right now, we could probably wait and just do the insect farm. We'll just do EVA airlock. That's fine. Let's just go with the normal storyline, I guess. But I really want to get, and actually you can queue up one more additional thing. Let's get insect farm after that. It's going to be very vital to food. So let's do that.
A science ship has arrived.
Again, sorry for the sniffles and stuff. Trying to record videos out anyway, okay? So I sent the science ship over to Mars while that guy was talking. Let's go see what these guys are doing over here. The UN has established a facility on Mars. Its crew are currently lacking the materials required to repair a critical fault in their oxygen supply system. They have submitted an official request to Dolos for aid. Stanford crew will utilize Tiqqun resources to help repair. Okay, this is just a difference. How do you want to do it? And then this is refuse help. Well, we're going to help them, but we're going to give them alloy. We have alloy everywhere. And polymer is a little harder to come by. So let's give them alloy. Let's send our Pridewin cargo ship out there, and it'll start to happen over time here. So let's watch that. It's going to collect resources from inside the facility here, and then it's going to take off, basically. So we're going to transfer that over. We're emptying this stockpile. That's great. Science is sciencing. We have lots of science. It was 30 each, I think, for these. So that's no big deal, right? That's easy for us. Yeah, 10 out of 30, and then 30 more for the insect farm. So we've got plenty of science for the original few items that we need to research. Cargo ship taking that alloy out to Mars for us. That's awesome. Ship crew is taking it out there. As far as I'm aware, really nothing is automated in this game as far as robots working it or anything. It's all crew. So that's kind of interesting, and you really do have to monitor that and watch it. All right, so what are we going to do next? I think we've built everything we need to build. The EVA module is going to be really nice to have. I usually don't build an infirmary until we start having injuries, which really is later in the game. So there's really no reason to build it, because if you build this, it's just going to take up power and crew, and resources, I guess, too. But the power, it's really the crew that's probably the biggest detriment to me to wanting to build that. Another thing the EVA module is going to do is allow us to build on the outside of the Ixion, the Tiqqun ship, and you'll see why that's a big deal in a second. We're going to build some solar panels. As soon as those guys get out there, let's actually look at their progress. Maybe we can fast forward a little bit, because really we're just waiting for things to happen now. So let's maybe jump ahead. We're going to be doing that a lot in this series. There are a lot of times where you're just really not doing a lot. All right, we just got EVA. Let's jump back to build that. We can set that up, and then we can jump back out there and watch what happens at Mars. So again, we're going to go to, it's a science or space module. It's quite large. You can see 12 by 9. 9 crew members. This is not a cheap module, but it's definitely necessary. See, that road would have been perfect. I actually want to build it on the edge because I'm going to have a bunch of space modules probably in here. So here would not be a great idea because, look, I can't build 2, right? So I'm going to build it over here. And then what I'm going to do is just build some road out to that. I should have had that road this whole time. Let's just build it out to like that. It's really all I need. We'll build it all the way out. You guys probably got nothing better to do, I guess. Let's destroy that. Well, for now, we'll build it out just to the necessary space here. So you can see we've got 100 alloy just sitting out here, and that's why I was saying we don't want to bring the alloy in from the moon because it's not needed yet. We have a lot of alloy to clear out in here. We could clear this. Let's clear that polymer, right? Those guys aren't doing anything. We're going to need to make some food relatively soon, which we're going to do with the insect colonies or whatever they're called, which will happen shortly. Let's watch this guy get out to Mars and see what happens. It's going to drop off some alloy. Now, while your science ship is involved in something like this, it can't leave. It has to just sit there. It's kind of odd, but also at the same time, I guess it's just waiting to go to the next step.
A science ship team has completed a task.
So the cargo ship immediately just takes off. Now, we're going to pause because we might want it to pick up some resources if we get any. Yes, we got some polymer. We're going to tell it to take that polymer back to the ship. We have the space. I think this is going to end us up with like 60 polymer on the Tiqqun just from natural stuff we can pick up, and this will give us 80, so I think this is totally okay, and it's already out there. Might as well pick it up. The oxygen supply system has been repaired, and the relationship between Dolos and our competitor has improved by 36%. As far as I know, there's not a diplomatic screen in the game, so I'm not sure if that really affects anything. Maybe in the future it will. I'm not exactly sure. Great. Now there's resources. There are resources to gather out there. Let's tell this guy, okay, gather polymer. He should turn straight around. Yeah, there we go. Let's send the Stanford back to the Tiqqun. We're going to need the Stanford. Oh, there's Saturn. Well, Tiqqun's on the way, so we'll just have it go back to Tiqqun, and then we'll have it go to Saturn and see what's out there. Polymer's almost all picked up. Yeah, we've got tons of space here in the warehouse. Totally fine. Now we're giving this is again why you want to put most of your warehouse and building stuff in the middle, because we're going to ferry it to the corner of the district, and that's not that far. It's not too bad. I have had it one time where I had like a warehouse way over here and I'm building something way over there, and it literally took forever to get that thing built. It was just crazy. Mars healthy competition. Oh yeah. It's completed its mission there. Yeah, they're on their way back. Okay, nothing new to see there. Let's advance the speed here because we do have nothing going on really. We're just waiting. to build things. You can see there's trash building up in the Science Center. Trash is something you can collect as a resource later, but you have to have a special directory. I can't. What is it? The district have to be able to manage waste. The right policy has to be selected for the sector. So I'm not exactly sure when that will unlock, but it will eventually. Insect farm has been unlocked. We're gonna go ahead and build one of those, even though we're not being requested to build one yet. And actually, I'm gonna start building it over here because while this is going to be my space district, I'm going to also make this my food district for a while. So let's start building that. Let's build some road out to it because it's not going to do anything yet until we do. Oh yeah, I was going to build space modules over there, wasn't I? We could build it right here and move it later. Let's do that. Also, it's right next to the food warehouse. That's probably a better idea for now, at least. Is just to build it right here. Don't have to build any additional roads or anything. It won't fit over here. That'd be really cool, though. It would fit if I did this. 2 of them would fit there, actually. That's a good idea for the future. Also, you don't have to really worry too much about building over these entrances to other districts. Because when something enters, let's say right here, and there's exit, the other road is only over here in the other district, it'll actually move through the district wall and end up at that other road. So it does take longer to get through that way. We'll talk about this later when we have more districts, but you don't have to worry about that too much. All right, let's go now. Let's speed up again. We have multiple things to build. Pretty soon we're going to have we have the EVA module to build. So again, we need to speed things up. Now, that probably means the science vessel is back. So let's send this guy out to Saturn while we have nothing to do, which is good. Science vessel has a lot of stuff to do in the beginning. Later, not so much. I do like to have 2 science vessels eventually because there are so many events going on. You'll see why in a bit. When we get probes, you'll see why. But for now, it's fine to have 1. Do we have a miner yet? We don't. We don't need one yet, but we don't need a miner for a long time. In fact, I'll probably put a second science vessel in here before I get a miner. The game just gives us a lot of resources in the beginning, and you just don't need to do a lot of mining. From my experience, we'll see. So let's go over here and see what they found. Saturn data summary. A signature trace from an EKP system that I think that means engines has been detected near Saturn. EKP technology is exclusive property of Dolos, but records indicate that the company has not deployed any missions to this sector. The signature will soon enter the atmosphere of Saturn. Send a team to investigate, attempt to locate. Okay, investigate the signature, do an EVA, or once the signature has passed through Saturn's atmosphere, Stanford team will analyze EKP residue and verify. Let's do this. Let's do it now, and then hopefully we'll get the other one as well. And we won't block ourselves. Let's get back to the Tiqqun here. Let's go double speed because we're almost done building that. Actually, it's going to take a long time to build, so why don't we just do that? Again, we've got to spend alloy to get rid of this pile. So that's another reason why it can be... Well, now it's going to get rid of itself because we have 100 space, right? So that's perfect. Because we're quickly going to want another space module over here when we get the probe module. I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but that's okay. We're not researching anything. Oh, crap. Let's get the probe launcher. We're going to need it. And then we can't really research anything else. This is Tier 1? Or Tier 0? I'm not exactly sure. They don't have names. Later, there's a mention. Actually, it's mentioned in here. If you want more space in the small stockpile, you need technology Tier 3 is required to unlock this. So I have to unlock Tier 3 technologies to unlock this level up, right? This upgrade. But I don't know what tier these are. Right, it's not telling me. Does it tell me when I first go in there? No, not that I'm aware of. Oh, this is Tier 1. Okay, that's 2. Tier 3. No, that's Tier 2. This is Tier 1. I don't know what this is. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. Okay. So I can't even get this upgrade until I've unlocked all the way out here the last unlocks that I'm aware of. That's very interesting. All right, let's do maybe double time here. Really not a lot going on. What do we want to pick up from next? I'd probably say it's these smaller ones so that we can clear it out easier. We're going to want to get all these. Actually, there's a 10. These are 50s. They're going to be kind of large. What? Oh, external construction. Yeah, I don't need to know this. I'll teach you guys how to do it. It's not that hard. All right, let's pick that one up and maybe that one. That should fill us up. And then we're going to have something to build anyway. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to build the EVA module now. Okay. Oh, maybe not. Did we get the EVA module? Yeah, EVA airlock. Should be under science. Or space. Right? Maybe they haven't given it to me yet. Finish implementing the Volt engine. Okay, so we have an EVA airlock. We need I was thinking the probe launcher. So the way this works is it'll take alloy and repair the hull points of the ship. Remember that I was telling you it does some maintenance on the ship? We don't need that right now because the game hasn't introduced that to us yet. We also need the EVA air dock to do external construction. So this is the external view of the Tiqqun. It's this middle one we haven't used yet. And you can see we can add some solar panels. There's 2 sets of different kinds of solar panels. And we can add the Volt engine, or the Volt engine right here for 100. And we already have the EKP engine, but you can have different engines and different setups. We're going to go with, we need a solar panel because look, we're at max. This is only 10 polymer. That's not bad. What's this one? 10 polymer, same thing. So we're going to build this guy. Yes, we will hull repairs temporarily pause during this. We're just going to get both of these initial upgrades. It's going to give us a lot of extra power, and then we won't have to worry about it for a long time. So let's just let that run for a little while. We can't build any more buildings because we're going to go over the capacity here. As you can see, they're going to move the polymer over to the EVA airlock, and then those guys... Oh, it's loading up alloy for repair, which we don't need to do right now anyway, so it's just ignoring it. But it's got it in reserve, so that's kind of cool. All right, so our science ship is now ready to look at here. What is it doing here? Okay, hold on. Yeah, we're going over the power. I guess because of this? Not exactly sure. We're going to turn something off. I'll show you how to do it in a second. So, and I should have done this before this even happened. We actually lost some trust because of a power outage, I think. But let's go look at this event. Administrator, reports are being received relating the optimization protocols on board Tiqqun. They indicate that crew members are being overworked. Although Dolos employment contracts make it clear that a high degree of flexibility is required, this situation is beginning to take its toll on morale. It would be pragmatic to deploy additional crew members or reduce the number of concurrently active workplaces. I'm not sure, again, if just powering down a workplace removes the workers. We'll see. Ooh, we can request additional staff. Let's do that. That's going to give us more crew. Nice. Okay, let's bring more crew over from from the Shanabi. We can actually have our cargo dude do that, right? Yes, crew. Like actual crew members. There we go. So my crew is going to go get that. Now to handle this power situation.
Due to insufficient levels of electricity generation, Sector 1's power demand has overloaded. Stanford routines recommend that you construct an external solar panel to boost overall electrical output.
Right, so that's what we're already doing. I don't know what it's going to say in transmission. There we go. So it's telling us, hey, build some solar panels, right? But what we're going to do in the meantime is power off the tech lab. We don't need this right now. It's generating tech, but it's not doing anything else. There we go. Build a section of the solar panels. That's fine. Okay, we're gonna get our additional crew, I think, now. Let's look. What's our science vessel doing? Nothing. Oh, it's at Saturn. Okay, they're good to go. A prototype rocket sent by the UN seems to use a variation of EKP. We have stripped it down and recovered schematics. Nice. We got 10 science for that. Oh, that's it. I don't know. We lost the other event. They were mutually exclusive. That's okay. Let's return. Well, they're going to extract science, and then we'll have that ship return. The crew is here. 94, 96. Lots of crew. So we need to build additional pylons. We only have enough... we only have enough apartments, or... What are these called, actually? Crew quarters. For like 90 crew members. And now I think we have... Well, it's more than 99, I think, right? Oh, it was 80 when originally. So what we're going to do is we're going to build one more whatever this, crew quarters. I don't know why I can't remember that. Crew halveses. That's what we're going to call it from now on. That'll get us up to 95. We might have to actually build two. No, that's 105. So that'll be awesome. All right. We can actually pull out another stockpile now, so let's pull out this guy. All right, we're going to get rid of that guy, and then we're going to be good for this area, and then we just have a little bit more to take out, and we're good. Well, no, we have all these too. So this is why, again, you don't want to pull in additional alloy right off the bat. There's really no point. It actually hurts you to do so. Is this guy generating food? Yeah, so we already have food generation. That's good, because we're getting pretty low on food, actually. It's funny that they didn't mention that. Let's also tee up the Vol, I guess, since we're building things out here. Don't we? I guess we have to do it from the EVA module. I thought we could just do it out here. Oh, I could just click that, right? Yeah, okay. So let's go and just queue up the Vol module. We don't need to do any repair right now anyway, so it's no big deal. We've got a lot of power. Let's turn the science lab back on, right? The tech lab. That'll generate us even more science. Oh, I think we still have a ship hanging out there, right? Right? Our science ship needs to come back to Tiqqun. Okay, cool. Working conditions, we don't need that. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Yep, clear all our notifications. All right, great. We're full up on alloys. Normal. Now I'm going to build, since we're just chilling. Oh, we can't. But now we're researching, because we haven't researched the probe launcher yet. I'm getting way ahead of myself. When we do, I'm going to build it right away. We're literally just sitting here not doing anything. I'm not sure what they're taking alloy over there to do. Oh, they got to build, they're trying to build the Vol engine, right? So let's connect this, because you can see they're going all the way around. I don't want that to happen. Let's also start to build... Well, I won't do it yet. Okay, it's already done. So why don't we start building, filling in these actual roads if we want, and getting rid of the ones we don't, which means we'll probably have to... Well, we'll probably leave one of these roads just to keep this guy attached. We're eventually going to move this insect farm anyway. Probe launcher has been unlocked. Nice. Let's build one. Probe launcher. Let's just build it right here. I really want to build it... I want 2 EVA guys eventually. And I'd like to have them right next to each other. Where would the EVA guy go if I built the second one? Okay, he's two tiles over into this guy, right? So let me see where I would build the probe launcher. Is it the same? He's the same size. Let's build him there. And then I'll just extend out the road here. Well, that's not good for a construction area. Is it? It isn't. Will this connect it? It won't. That would be like the perfect construction area. Well, I could move him over and put a road right here. Right? I could put a road right there. If I just turn this guy that way. But we won't have any road right here then. That's a tough one, dude. If I just move this guy over 1, this road would hit him. If I just moved him over 1. Let's do that. Let's just cancel this guy. And let's just move him over 1. Like, see? If I move him to there... Oh, this building's in the way. Get out of the way, dude. You know what? For now, we're just going to build it over here. Let's just do that. It's already ready. We'll just do the EVA guy over here. Eventually, I might move it. I don't really know. We'll see, depending on how many of these buildings I'm going to have over here. It would eventually be nice to have it where they're all next to each other. It just makes it easier to see how many EVA modules do I have, right? That's really why I want to do it. So these guys are delivering resources, so that's why they're not picking up from that stockpile. They can only do one thing at a time. Now that we've got all those extra roads, let's kill off all of this. And we'll leave, again, one piece there, so we don't have to move that yet. It's really, there's no point to that other piece. Okay. Now let's look at what we're doing out here, since we have nothing to do. We need that probe launcher. That's going to give us something to do. There's one really cool thing to do with the probe launcher in the initial system. There might be more than one, but I know of one at least. All right, yeah, they're going to have to collect some resources at the same time, move it over to this guy. Let's actually super fast forward here because we're literally just not doing anything. Tech. Oh, we have Tier 2 unlocked. So what I'm going to go for, out of all these buildings, I think steel mill is the best. You can turn iron into alloy. Battery is also good because, and cryonic center is going to help us get more crew, but we really don't need that for a while. Battery is good because when you move the Tiqqun, all the power shuts off, right? It diverts all power to the engine. So it's nice to have a battery, but we really don't need that right now because we're not going to move very far on the initial jump. So let's get the steel mill, and you can see it takes 45. And then I think we're going to do probably the battery. I don't use that for a while. We're really already into territory where we don't need these unlocks, which I think is another way that you could probably have more research going on in the beginning and maybe slow it down a little bit so that you don't get to the edge so quickly. I don't know. We'll see what they do with this game over time. I think cryonic center is probably more necessary. Battery, I didn't use it till more later in my playthrough, when I was just about to unlock really the third district. Again, we're going to fast forward. We got nothing to do, really, just waiting for these guys to move stuff. Now, if I had 2 of these warehouses, they would move faster. But I don't, and I won't, so it's fine. Now we're going to tell them, okay, get... That would be a really nice one to unlock. What is this? We don't need that. Not really sure why that's there. That's a really large structure, so let's have them take out that. Again, fast forward. We don't really need to slow down here. Totally know what we're doing. Totally. Oh, we're 9 minutes over. I keep forgetting this is a 30-minute series. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments section. We've come a long way since episode 1 already, and it's just going to get better. If you're new here, please consider subscribing if you like this content. If you did like it, please hit the like button. It helps a lot. It helps that algorithm. And I will see you on the next one. Stay frosty.